Right.
Welcome. We're on the road with a conversation with Carl and LaTanya. I'm Carl Gilliard.
I'm LaTanya Gilliard.
And yes, you are. And to my immediate left is the great and all-powerful Rael Sims. You'll get to see more of him on April 18th at the Acme Theater in Hollywood, where we'll have a live conversation for you. So check that out.
Yes.
We'll have more about that on Facebook. And so we thought we'd have Rael here to talk about a subject that came into our inbox recently from a lovely friend whose name shall remain unmentioned. Nameless, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she asked a question about love between the classes. For example, let's say you're a woman and you have a PhD and you maybe are an executive at a company making well into your 6 digits. How does that woman connect with a man who might be blue collar, postal worker, garbage collector, what have you? Should they connect? That was what the question was.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts?
Should they connect, or is it a good idea?
Can they connect?
Yeah.
I think they can.
Because anybody can connect.
That's
Right.
It's just what you stop. I'm really interested to hear what you got to say.
No, go ahead. I'm interested because I was like, from the ladies' perspective, I was like,
Well, yeah. LaTanya, if you was like a vote,
we both were looking.
taking notes. Yeah.
Well,
What do
he
you
knows
think about
what I'm
that?
going to say. We've said it a lot. Well, the thing is, okay, women are, what do we say? Sometimes just in a mode or a mindset where I have what I have. I worked hard to get what I have, and I'm not going to let anybody else take it away. So, you remember that song, Scrubs? I don't want no scrub.
Yes.
Yeah, hanging out the passenger side of his boyfriend's car, trying to holler at me. Women don't want no scrubs. That's what it is.
Yes.
So it's like, I don't want anyone who's going to take me down any lower than, where I am.
Right.
I'm at a good point, and I want to stay here. But see, that's the thing. You don't... It's not so much that the guy makes less than you. If you are crazy enough to think that you got it made, you may be a millionaire. Maybe a millionaire, okay. If you don't think you can find another millionaire, you really got to start looking for something else to qualify a guy with.
The reason why he's in your life in the first place.
Exactly.
Right.
Because money, you can find you another millionaire that's going to end up beating your butt. Or, whatever. The money has nothing to do with it.
Well, it's even bigger than a millionaire kicking your butt. It's like if you are a millionaire, okay, what about all of the women who might be standing in line with numbers in hand for that millionaire?
Well, that can happen even if you got a guy who's just fine. Like
me?
Yeah, like you, baby. Like that Shamar Moore stuff, too.
Yeah, just like me.
And that's all he does is attract the females just because of the way they look,
right.
But women go after power, period. Steve Harvey says it all the time.
Well, that's natural. That's natural for a woman to look for a man that has status. But we have to understand what status means. The status doesn't necessarily mean a man that's rich.
Right.
Status could mean a man who has the ability to help me maintain what I have. Right. So even though you might have a house, you might have a car, you might have your own job, you might be making 6 figures, but you still want somebody and need somebody to be in your life to help you maintain what you have. And it's not necessarily, if you are making 100,000 and I'm making 500,000, and then together, I mean, if you're a couple. That's together. That's as one. And then sometimes we're thinking about, well, you're going to take my money, or I'm going to lose this and I'm going to lose that. And what we don't realize is the greatest gift ever that's given to us from God is a relationship. So sometimes what we do is we actually sacrifice the relationship. Now, how many people that are on dating sites, thousands of people on dating sites looking for a relationship, but yet you will sacrifice a job that today in 2015 is not guaranteed to have for lifetime.
That's it.
So when you have a job, I mean, and I know executives are actually hiring people for a limited amount of time, right? So you're saying to yourself, well, I have this job and I'm making $100,000 and I'm looking for that guy. Well, even if you do find a guy that's making $100,000 equal to you, it's not guaranteed that he's going to have that job. And that's something that we have to prepare for, because it's a possibility that you're working, you're both working, you're both making $100,000, $500,000, and it's a possibility you're going to lose your job. Now that's where the real test comes in.
And that's where the relationship comes in. And that's what I think, you're really onto something there, Rael, because, you are in it for the relationship, for life. And if it's marriage, it's for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer.
That's right.
And that, when you lose a job or when something happens that interrupts the flow, what do you do? How do you respond? It's actually a time when you should draw closer and create a better relationship.
That's when you need each other.
Exactly. Right. And the money will come back.
Well, see, this is the thing. Marriage is one word, team.
That's right.
You are a team.
You are a team.
That's it. So if you can't see, if you're a female and you're looking at this guy as someone who's, not a team player only because of the money they make, then you probably will never have any teams. I mean a team. Right. Seriously, because he's got to buy into you just like you have to buy into him.
That's right. Right.
And if the two of you can come together and create something and support each other, and it's just like you don't leave your man down in what's in the army. What is that? You don't leave
you don't leave him behind.
Yeah.
Even if he died, we have to come back. I was in the military.
If he gets wounded.
We still got to come back and get him and bring him back.
That's it. That's right. A whole big team.
That's
so
right.
you can't, you're a team.
You don't
now, before you, that's it. Now, before you get to the point that you are a team, what's your what's going to be your qualifying? I don't know how women can, I can only speak for myself. Okay. When you get into a relationship and it moves on, seriously, for love, there's a lot of things that you sometimes don't pay attention to that you should, but when you get into it simply trying to see how they're going to make you better, you do miss out on a whole lot of the other intimacies and the other, the heart of a relationship.
Absolutely.
So it's like, what do you want more? What's more important? And I'll take heart any day because two people's heart can make some money.
And we're not suggesting that you have to have somebody that's not trying to be something better themselves. Right. We're talking about a guy who's trying to do something, And hey, I have to say this too, though. It's possible that you might meet somebody that's at that particular point has not had the opportunity to do something or may not have the knowledge of what that person has, right? And you may be the person that can bring it out in him or her.
Like,
and see, that's what we're afraid of.
And what's really funny about that, I'm on a few threads on Facebook. I peruse and I stalk. And I see what's going on.
Stalker.
And there was a thread once that talked about some of these things, and a lot of women on there were talking about potential, and you don't marry potential, and don't get involved with potential, and I actually understand that, but to your point, put it to you this way: it was a pastor who told me a story, and I won't get into the story, but at the end of the day, there was a break between a couple, and the husband was not performing well with that former spouse. Guy goes and marries a new person, ends up doing all these fantastic things. Former spouse gets mad, goes to the pastor and says, "Oh, look at what he's doing. And the pastor said to the woman very calmly, "That's who he is without you."
Wow.
And that's
to your point, to the negative side, though. This other woman came into his life and he flourished in his gifts because of what she allowed. Not that she pushed him into, but also she allowed it to happen.
And encouraged him. And encouraged him. And that's, and that goes back to one of my hypotheses about submission, because I know when we hear that word, oh my God, submit. But it's actually one of the submissions is actually for that woman to submit that certain it that us men don't have, and to submit that intelligence, submit that smart, that knowledge that she has, submit it unto him. Because there's times that we may get into a situation where we are not confused, but we're stuck.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we're stuck. And that's when the woman is to submit it. Yeah. Submit it on. Because, man, women are so brilliant.
I was going to say powerful, but brilliant, powerful.
And powerful and strong. And a strong man Only a strong man realizes that. Right?
Yeah.
A smart and strong man realize what you have when you have a woman. That's that's gold of all golds. That's diamonds of all diamonds. When you have her, you like, hey, I can achieve anything as long as you know that she's going to submit that to you. Because it's no problem of saying to men, it's no problem of when you're stuck, go to your significant other and say, baby, what do you think? Baby, I'm having a problem. What do you think?
Right. It doesn't make you any less of a man.
Doesn't make you less of a man. Because you got to think about it. But that's a team. It goes right back to that.
Right.
Because look, Michelle was President Obama's boss.
Yeah, that's right.
And look at Denzel and Pauletta. She was already on Broadway. He was like a little fart butt. And then she was on Broadway, and I look at her. But you know what? We ain't gonna give it all to you right now.
Yeah.
You better be at the Acme Theater on April 18th, which is my birthday.
April 18th.
Be there. We're going to cut it right here because...
Get your tickets now.
On PayPal. Don't mess with me.
Get them now.
I'm looking for you.
PayPal.
Okay.
You got a lot of stuff
press on the button right now. Is it a thing?
Yeah.
Okay, look. We got to go.
We got to go.
Bring it up.
We're going to be there. You're going to be there. So, peace, 2 fingers, Rael Sims, my lovely wife, Latanya Gilliard, and me, Carl Gilliard. See you there.
Be like, boing.